One of the harder conversations to have is when we talk about our children and the children in the state of Indiana that are suffering. I've heard a lot as I've traveled around the state about Child Protective Services, our foster care system. I've had it described to me as a system that is basically completely broken and in shambles, and it's been duct taped together. And the ones that are being hurt by that are the children. I heard a story about a student child that was in 13 homes. A teenager that had been in 13 homes? Oh my goodness, how does a person go through that? It's too much. And so what we've done is we've listened. We've listened to the families that are wanting to adopt. We've listened to the families that are involved in foster care. We've actually visited an orphanage in District 3. And what we're doing is we're leaning towards this idea of Indiana being a state that encourages the orphanage. That is something that we're heavily focused on right now. We want to outsource Child Protective Service completely. We want to outsource it to as many nonprofit organizations as possible, because what we're seeing is that it's the nonprofit organizations that are actually doing things well. And it's the government, surprise, it's the government that's actually failing the children. And so what we're looking at doing is, even from an administrative perspective, I'm being very serious with you when I tell you that we really want to outsource the entire department. By doing so, we can look at our progress. We can encourage these different organizations to communicate with one another what's working well for children. And then we give everybody the opportunity at the end of the day to actually see what the cost is to take care of this vulnerable group of people, these children in our state. And when we see what that cost actually is, apart from waste, fraud, and abuse, we will then be able to assess how we can come in and do it better and possibly take more of it into the private sector. What I'm doing is I'm talking to you about how to make government smaller. And I definitely feel in an area that involves our children, that is something we should pay attention to.